do a little quick mic test.
I don't see at all.
Cheers. Clink, 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 clink.
Clink, clink, clink.
Clink.
I'm gonna drink to that.
Cheers.
Put your hands to the sky. Randomly Rashida. How do
All right. Are we on? We're on. We are back. This is Rashida, aka Randomly Rashida, and
Desmona.
you already know. Let me make sure I got the right microphone on too, by the way. This might go bad. Yeah. Oops. Oops. Testing, testing.
1, 2.
Well, we are back and we are talking about all things real estate. This is what happens when you go to real estate school. You meet people and you become lifelong friends.
Lifelong friends,
Whoop,
guys.
whoop. Oh, that mic is all up in your face, Jeff.
It's okay.
Okay, then.
It's okay.
We're gonna rename ourselves Two Chocolate Chicks in the Microphone.
How about I love it? To be chocolate like this one, I love it.
That's a whole podcast.
So silly.
So Mona, you've been, like we talked about earlier, you've been doing real estate for 17 years.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, what was your why? Why did you go into real estate?
I went into real estate because my brother had gotten in trouble. He was doing some investing with some friends, and it wound up just going bad. It just wound up going bad, and because it went bad, I needed to educate myself to help him out of it.
Really?
So I went to real estate school, and when I went to real estate school, I met you.
Ain't that nothing?
I love it.
Well, my why was I was pregnant with my middle son. He was 17. Oh,
Okay.
no, he wasn't 17, Lord knows. That was 17 years ago.
I know.
And I wanted to get out of corporate America because after the first child, I went right back after my 6 weeks of FMLA.
Yes.
And so I said, okay, I want to do better this time, and I want to spend a little more time with my child. So I thought the only thing I could do was go to real estate school. But the caveat was I had to be making the same kind of money that I was making in corporate America.
Get it.
Or it wasn't going to work.
Get it.
So that meant pressure on me, because I think what happens is people don't realize that it's a commission-only gig, right?
Commission only. How many times have we worked with people, Rashida, just for them to say, you know what, I'm gonna use my cousin down the street.
Girl, okay, since you went there,
Yeah.
all my family members have bought house and sold houses. Let me ask you, which ones have I bought and sold for them? Okay, wait for it. Let's sit.
I'm gonna go and sit.
You know what? Let me just clear my whole palate. And so I've learned the hard way that and I just told a relative the other day, I said, if you focus on your family and friends, if you think of think about $1, that's 100. 1 cent of that dollar is your family and friends.
This is true.
You got 99 cents out there, go get it.
You better go.
So why focus on the 1 cent when you can focus on the 99 cents?
And you know what,
Wasn't
Rashida?
that good?
Rashida, when I say it was good, but let me help you to add on to that. This is the reason, guys, for those of you who want to be realtors, this is the reason I went to REO. Just to let you all know, there's different caveats of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
You can get into the investing side of it. You can get into the REO, which is real estate owned. You can get into the relocation. I didn't want to do just what you're saying. I didn't want to have to depend on family, friends, nor make them feel obligated to use me.
Gotcha.
So I went after the banks. I submitted my application. And it was nothing but the grace of God. I was fortunate to be one of those who was chosen.
You sure were, because that's a tough market to get into.
It's a very tough market.
That's for Sally, who's been in real estate 50 years. You know how that goes.
I was successful, guys, with it.
She really was.
I'm here to tell you, it's just pick your niche, pick what you want to go after, and do it.
Because there's commercial side, there's residential, there's wholesaling, like working with investors. Because you work with investors for a while.
I work with investors, and let me tell you, that's a very good way to go. But please know that investors are loyal to whoever they're working with. So, you can do all the legwork for them, but if they get a better deal down the street, please know you're working with an investor.
Because they won't sign off on the buyer's agency agreement.
No, ma'am, they do not sign off on buyer's agency agreements because they're letting you know up front, I'm an investor.
I'm a pimp.
I'm a pimp. Yeah. I'm a pimp.
And whoever showed up with the goods first, that's who I'm going with. So that's the risk you take when you're working with investors. Which is why I never really want to do that, because they'll want everything you have. You'll work sweat, blood, and tears.
Oh my God.
And then they'll be like, oh, I don't want that, or I've gone with Susie. Now that's gonna make me blow your next investment property up.
But it's the truth. But can I say this about investors? They will lead you to some hidden treasures, and you'd be like, I never saw that over there. Because they think out of a totally different mindset. We're thinking, let's get this deal closed. Let me get my commission check. They're thinking, okay, I'm looking in the neighborhood. I'm looking at what's the next hottest commodity. That's the way they think.
Yeah.
So I learned from them.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if ever you want to do that sort of thing, you've gotten firsthand experience with what to look for, how to look for it. There you go. Yeah. So there's beauty in it all. But the key thing is know what you need to know.
Yes.
And that's pretty much what this whole episode is about. It's about knowing what you need to know so that you don't think that it's overly sensationalized. Because we've seen the $1 Million Listing shows on HGTV.
Yes, we have.
Let me have you. That stuff ain't real. It can't be. Well, maybe in California, but that junk is not real in Georgia.
It's not in Georgia, guys. But you think about it. The cost of living here in Georgia and the cost of living there. So it's easy to get $1 million sale and become the biggest realtor out there just for sales. One house is $1 million, guys.
Right. But you've worked with high-end clientele like celebrities and such, right?
I've worked with high-end clients, and I have been very fortunate. I keep their names exclusive only because they asked me to, but have been very fortunate to work with high-end.
So I'm saying that to say, once you get into that club, then that's how you become that standout $1 million client listing agent.
This is true.
Yeah.
But I've learned this too. Don't depend on it. I've learned not to depend on it, because they too, just as you're one of their chosen ones, maybe their husband has a chosen one. So you have to learn that nest is to be shared. So if I had to give you any kind of counsel right now, my counsel would be, do not get attached to anyone or anything. Just be appreciative for the deal at the time, get it closed. And if they send you another one,
Now here's what I learned. Let's rewind back to the good old days when we first got licensed.
I know, Rashida. I know.
And it was like, oh, I got a license. Anybody want to buy a house? Get in the car. Did you ever do that?
How much gas did I spend? How many people did I take to lunch and they still didn't buy? Yeah.
And couldn't qualify if they tried.
Couldn't qualify.
But we didn't know what we didn't know until after you run out of good tank of gas.
Good tank of gas.
In the middle of the summer and your air running.
And you haven't made a dime. Guys,
Zero.
It's serious being a realtor. Realtors don't get paid until they close the deal.
Right. And don't be counting people money. Worry about yourself.
This is good counsel.
This is not a nonprofit organization, is what I'm trying to tell you.
Guys, the information you're getting now is serious and is real.
Yeah.
This is this is how you make your living. You got to be true to this game.
And you have to qualify your buyers. Everyone's going to be like, oh, I want to buy a house. Send them first off the bat. These are lessons we learned in the game.
You know what, Rashida? Let's back up. So let's just say I am a first-time home buyer, and I'm so excited I want to buy. What would you tell me first?
Hold up, play.
There you go. There you go.
Have you talked to a lender?
Oh, no, I haven't talked to a lender.
Okay, well, let me go ahead and get you signed up. Call this number right here, and then let me know what she said.
Okay, gotcha.
That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Because what I want you to know is we need to find out how much your budget is. So you have to spin it in the right way, not to say, oh, you got bad credit, but we're going to say, we want to know what you're working with, right?
This is true.
If you're going on a shopping spree, we want to know how much money do we have to work with.
This is true.
Because I don't want to show you something that's too up more than you can afford or something that is under what you can afford.
Yes.
So we need to have marching orders. So we're going to go get that done first, Sunshine, and then we're going to come back, okay?
Why didn't somebody tell us this in the beginning?
So for now, you can't get in this car.
Go see the lender first.
And then you come back to me and we can do that.
The lender will tell us very well,
yes,
not quickly. Now, later. They will give us instructions.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what people don't realize is there's different sets of credit reports.
Yes, it is.
There's a consumer report you pull by myfreecreditreport.com or whatever it is.
Yes.
But the lender, what the world? Hold that thought. Oh, crap, I got a team meeting. Hold on. We were talking about the credit situation.
Yes.
So there's the consumer report, and then there's the report that the lender pulls, which is a far more in-depth report that you will ever get.
Ever.
So don't be like, oh, I just pulled mine in January. I know what my credit score is. It won't even apply. It's not even the same. No. And besides that, they do a tri-merge, which is Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And they take the middle of the score. So if you had a 700, 650, and a 620, your middle score would be a 650. And that's going to be what governs the entire process.
The entire process.
If I had to say anything, I'd say work on your credit, know thyself, and don't be in denial.
I would fully agree with that. I would fully agree that your purchaser needs to be aware where they are. Yep. And guess what? They may qualify for $700,000, but guys, if it's one counsel that I definitely want to leave you with, trust this process right here. They're trusting you to lead them the right way. So if they qualify for $700,000, maybe they can only right now really need to go for $200,000. They're looking for you to give them that counsel. Be that ethical realtor that is not just about that closing, but it's about, I'm looking out for your future.
And that commission. Because, you want repeat business. And that's the thing. You want a referral. And if you get somebody set up wrong, I've had plenty of people call me, you got me in this house. No. That's what you wanted. That's what we did.
This is true.
And you have to keep people focused on their main objective. If you want to be near a Boys and Girls Club, if you need to be close to your job, you need to be close to your school, close to your cousin and them, then we need to stay over here while we're over there. Because that doesn't fit any of our criteria. Stay over here, sunshine. That's where we need to be.
And Rashida, one of the things that I can tell you that can be in the head right now is this. One of my buyers, I remember them saying, I can't believe you let me buy in this neighborhood. And I said, why would you say that? You chose this neighborhood. Well, you should have took me out at 5 o'clock when traffic was really moving. Lesson that I've learned, guys, and I'm just sharing it with you. Take your buyers to that neighborhood at 5 o'clock.
When all the kids are home.
When all the kids are home, when rush hour traffic is going, and they may decide, I don't like this neighborhood anymore. This is all the things that we're telling you from 17 years of experience. These are the things you need to do.
And as a buyer, do your own due diligence too. Don't put all that on me. Go do your scan on the weekend, do your scan at night, do your scan in the mornings, whatever you need to do to feel comfortable, because you have to be happy with the product at the end of the day.
You do.
You know what I'm saying? We can get you there, talk you through it, do your inspection, make sure you're good, but it's your home. So do what you need to do. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah. So coming up, we're going to talk about inspections.
Oh, girl. Yes.
Please. And we've got stories to tell about that one. The bottom line is, don't be cheap.
Don't be cheap.
Spend the money.
Get the inspection. You're going to regret it if you don't.
Spend now or pay later. Which way you want to be with that?
Spend now.
Hold that thought. Clink, clink. We are back talking about inspections.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about your boy Jock.
Oh my gosh. Listen to me. Jock is one of a kind.
He is.
Listen to me. When you even thought about saying, Des, I need to get a inspector, it was Jock.
It was Jock. And see, that's the beauty of having a network of realtors, lenders, attorneys in your pocket.
Yes.
So you want to have that, because as a newbie, that's invaluable. Like, we're not by law supposed to refer people to our buyers, but by the same token, it's nice to say, well, I would suggest you use this person. And it's not because we're getting the kickbacks. People tend to think that too. No, we're affiliated or whatever. But we want you to have the best possible experience, the best person. So when I called Mona and said, hey, I need an inspector because I've been out of the game in Atlanta for a minute, she referred me to Jock. And I knew I didn't even have to worry about anything. Whatever he charged was going to be okay because she sent them.
And guess what? You want to get to the point to where you know that people who send a referral is good. But Jock, he's a thorough inspector. He handles his business. He's reliable, but he's credible. He makes sure he does the job for you.
He does things in a way that he says, because Lord knows, I think I spent about $5,000 with Jock in last summer trying to buy houses. I was like, you know what? Can I get a discount on some?
Please, Jock.
Can I buy 3, get 1 free? Can I get something? Because I was killing the game and didn't have near house to send for it at the end of the day. But he was like, if you're my sister, I would say this to you. So he looks at it from a, I wouldn't want to sell you something that you're not going to be happy for.
Yes.
That's called integrity at the end of the day. Yes. And he's going to be one of my guests coming up as I continue the real estate series, talking about home inspections, because he not only does home inspections for retail buyers, but he also works with investors.
Look at Jock.
I know.
Look at Jock.
But you know what he said to me that I did not know? He said inspectors don't have to be licensed. I never knew that.
Did you know I took a class the other day? As a realtor, we have to keep our CEs active.
And so education.
That's it. I took a CE class with an inspector And that's when I found out inspectors don't have to be licensed.
I did not know that.
I didn't either.
I was like, are you kidding me? He said, nope, you don't have to be. So I don't know what I was doing back in the day.
Me neither.
I just assumed there was a governing agency that controls all of that. So that means you could have been giving me a real raggedy inspection report, and I didn't know.
Thank God for y'all.
Yeah. And thank God for just having the sense of knowing, just a sense, that spirit, right? That says, okay, you're doing too much, you're doing too little. What about this? If I'm seeing stuff with my naked eye that you ain't see, now we got a problem. I'm going to need 100% discount.
That's my friend Rashida, guys.
So stay tuned for the episode with Jock, because he's going to show you some stuff that, as an investor in particular, you want to know. You want to have someone like him in your pocket, because the name of the game as an investor is time and money, right?
That's exact for investors. It's time and money.
So they ain't got time and they ain't got all that money.
No.
So they want to know what they need to know in advance. If I need a new water line put through,
Tell me now.
My new electrical pulled out and rewired, I need to know that so I can budget for that, versus finding out when I pull the walls down that I need all this stuff done.
And Rashida, I'm glad you said that. And I want to say this, guys, it is so important to make sure that you get a home warranty. Let me just say that. Get a home warranty. It's nothing like you knowing that HVAC unit that goes out that's going to cost you $5,000, opposed to you paying that $399 to get a coverage for a year. Please make sure your appliances are home warranty. And that's one of the things that Jacques really taught me.
Even if it's a brand new house, because I've had 2 neighbors in this neighborhood say my microwave went out and my refrigerator went out.
There you go.
And we had the microwave. The lady was like, "Oh, it's such a small appliance. Like, it would cost us more to send someone out than if you just go buy one at Home Depot." Oh, no. That's what we do with this warranty. That's the best you got with this.
That's the best
manufacturer's warranty. Tell me to go buy another one. Okay, that's what we're doing. Okay, very good.
Yeah. Get a home warranty.
You do. You want one, because I have rental properties. Do you have rental properties?
Listen, after one bad episode,
did you have a bad episode?
Yeah, I had a bad episode. I had a bad episode to where they just did not take care of my property, and I didn't check behind them because it was a really good family. But after they moved out, it costed me more money than I wanted to. So guess what? I got rid of all rental properties. So now it is clearly no rentals.
I feel the same way. Now everybody's interested.
Everybody's different.
Everybody wants to be an investor, but I'm like, I don't feel that way. I have one house left, and it's standing in Charlotte, and I wish people would go ahead and buy the house and I can be done with it. Because when I tell you, I don't want to, and they're on autopilot. They're the best people. They re-up.
You're very blessed. You're blessed.
So it'll be 6 years they've been in my house. I'm like, just go ahead and buy the thing. I got a lot of equity in the house. I'm going to need that. I need you to buy the house.
I need you to buy the house.
Get your credit right. As a matter of fact, I will pay for your credit to get right. But just go get your credit right.
Just get it right.
And let's get it done.
I get it.
But I don't want the experience. I had a tenant when I lived in Dunwoody. The chick stole my wedding dress and my weight system.
See, I can't. And see, guys, listen to me. Rentals are for some people, and I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm saying for me.
Me too.
My personal experience, I just don't want that assignment.
It's not goals for me.
Me either.
I'll tell you a funny story, and this is so off track, but this is so funny. So, you know, the first house I bought when I was married to that one?
Yes.
In Stockbridge.
Yes. Yes.
It was a ranch on the basement. We built it custom. We probably paid under $350.
How about beautiful home? I remember. Yeah.
Well, you know me, after that 1 year, 1.5 year, we were ready to move on. Or I was ready to move on, so he came on for the program. So we rented the house out. Now, when I was in college, Bone Thugs and Harmony was my group.
Okay.
Like, I love money.
Only my friend.
That was my jam. So I put an ad in the paper, I think, back then. That's what we were doing.
Yeah.
And he shows up at my door, this guy and his girlfriend, wife, whatever she is. And he's like, hey, you got this little slick voice. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, hey, I want to see the house. I'm like, okay. And I said, he said something to me. And I said, what do you do? You know, casual conversation.
Yeah.
He says, oh, I'm a rapper. I'm like, oh, okay. Whatever. I don't listen to rap music. I'm good. And he says, I said, oh, so professionally? He said, yes. Oh, okay. So, well, he said, I'm a part of, have you ever heard of Bone Thugs and Harmony? I'm like, yeah, that's my group. But now, mind you, while I'm saying that's my group, I don't know what the world you look like. And he's like, oh, I'm one of the rappers. I'm like, well, so much for being a fan. Clearly I'm not.
I don't know.
Because I would not have picked you out if I had to, because I'm not that deep into it. But I was like, little song for love money. So he rented my house out. I'll never forget this. I'm pregnant with Chase. Chase is, what, Chase is 15 now? So that was like 14 years ago, right?
Yes.
And I live in, where were we living? We were living in Gwinnett.
Y'all were in Gwinnett.
That's a good hour or so from Stockbridge.
Yes, I remember.
On a Friday. So if you're going to have tenants, this is a note to self. Get it where it's set up on auto payment, right? Yes. I don't do checks anymore. I stopped that a long time ago. You can't, now we can do Cash App. But I wanted verifiable funds through funds transfer. So therefore I can say, no, boo-boo, you did not send that on Thursday. You sent it on every bit of Saturday. Because the ticker don't lie.
It shows.
So we went to that routine with him. So it's on a Friday. I'm very pregnant. It's hot. You know, traffic. It's 4 o'clock.
It's Friday.
This one ain't got my money. And we about 3 days past due. So I'm like, you know what? One thing you don't do to me is ignore me when you owe me money. That's what we're not going to do. You need to pick up that phone and man up and say, I don't have it or whatever. And that's the other thing. If you have tenants, once they start making an excuse, that's time to let them go.
It's time, guys. Let them go.
The first day is going to be the dog ate my money. The next day is going to be, well, see, what happened was I had to pay for my sister's this. And the stories will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. And your heart will be pulled and it'll just be a bad situation.
Too much.
So let it go. Up front. Boom. Dispossessory in effect. Let's get out.
Yes. No, I agree. This is why I don't rent to this.
Right. Because your heart gets involved. And you're like, well, you know, they have 5 kids. Not my fault. That's your fault. But it happens. So anyway, so this day I'm calling and calling. Where my money is, his name was Steve. And I get over that. Now he's ignoring me, so now I'm worked up. So now
you're mad.
I'm mad.
You're mad.
I'm like, I'm gonna put pregnant and hot on a Friday in rush hour, all that. So you know it was big for me to go from Gwinnett to there. So I get in the car. I'm like, oh, this was done me dirty. I put a for sale sign in my trunk and I went over to the house. This is a true story. I put the sign. I ring the doorbell. Nobody answers. I'm like, I know some up in this house. So that's no problem. I put a for sale sign in the yard.
Yes.
I promise you, before I can get to the stop sign of the entrance to the neighborhood, Rashida, baby girl. I'm like, well, I gotta be baby girl. Baby girl, what you doing? You put a for sale sign up in the yard, which means you must be home or somebody's home. Because how did you know that?
How did you know that?
Well, see, what happened was my accountant didn't pay the money. Oh, you need to call your accountant. Let them know they're doing you dirty.
Now you involved.
And now I'm gonna do you dirty. You got to get out. I'm firing you. You got to go. Girl, that thing was like, I will have your money like tonight. I'm like, okay, very good, because you know I'm mad. I don't do this level of disrespect. Okay, baby girl. Okay, baby girl. So I hang up. He calls back 5 minutes later. Just so we clear, you gonna get that sign out the yard, right?
Did you go back and take it out the yard?
He's like, because you know that ain't gonna look good. No, me not having my money not gonna look good.
And I'm pregnant and it's hot and it's Friday.
I hollered. I never had a problem out of him after that. Never did. I bet he was like, this girl's a whole nut. I called my ex-husband at the time. I told him the story. He cracked up laughing. I was like, you know, I don't play games with people. You got me driving my big behind out in the middle of the summer to come put a for sale sign in your yard. You're going to pay me triple double. And from that point, he started paying like 6 months in advance.
But Rashida, guess what? This is the reason I don't do rentals, guys. I can't go through a summer like Rashida. I've had enough of them.
Yeah.
That's just me.
I'm done too. I'm good. I've been there, done that, played the game.
Yeah.
You know, and that was good because that particular house I had done, you know, you remember back then they had the LIBORs?
Yes.
And that was based on like the T-bill, some nonsense. And so you buy the house for 1% interest only. And then, you know, so that means you get like a $500,000 house and pay like $2 a month. It was like crazy times. And like literally that house we paid maybe $1,300 a month for a $50,000 house. I was renting it out for like $3,500. So that was like 2 G's killing it. And no one could be mad because it's 5,000 square feet. Brand new house.
You couldn't.
An entertainer's delight.
And guys, let me tell you something. I have been to the house. It was beautiful.
So I was like, ching, 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 ching. The little minor inconvenience, I was kind of okay with that because I really didn't want to leave.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I'm going to need you to stay, but I need you to also recognize who I am.
Steve, I need you to stay.
Stick and stay, Steve.
Steve, please stay.
So, yeah. So over the years, there's so many stories. I think that we really just want to drive home that Know what you need to know.
Know what you need to know, guys.
And do your research on people too, because not everybody who says I'm ready to buy a house is actually ready to buy a house.
No, they're not. I agree.
So save yourself the gas money, because some people think that we're just glorified tour guides, right? And that's not really true. Realtors really come into play when the rubber hits the road at closing. Or during the week of closing, when everything goes belly up.
Everything break loose. If it's going to break loose, guys, it's going to break loose the week of closing.
Yeah. They find out you got a lien on the property. Your name ain't really your name.
Your name ain't really your name.
You know, you owe the government $5,000 and now everybody's panicking. That's when we actually come in and save the day.
Yeah. This is true.
And this is where we really earn our money. And it's something you can't do for yourself.
No.
You know, it's like going to court. I always tell people, why would you go to court and you solo, and this guy, your opponent, has a lawyer, and you go, let me borrow your lawyer real quick,
right,
to represent me and you.
No.
He can't serve two masters.
No.
So you have to ante up. Even if you go to a new home subdivision and there's a realtor there, that realtor represents the builder, not you.
Not you guys.
So they're not going to negotiate for you. They're not going to make sure you get the best price.
No, they're not.
As a matter of fact, they may give you a higher price.
And you know what? I'm glad that you said that, because I would recommend to every single person, maybe you are a buyer, you're looking for an agent. I would definitely say, if you go to a new home subdivision, I would say take your own agent. Because remember, that agent sitting in that subdivision called the model home, that agent represents the builder. That is going to now turn into what real estate knowledge is: dual agency. Dual means they're representing two people, you and now the builder. And I hate to tell you, their loyalty is always going to be to the builder.
Exactly.
So always get you an agent. Take you an agent with you. Let them know you have representation.
Even if you don't, just say, I do have a realtor. So that gives you the opportunity to look for one and bring them back.
This is true.
Versus saying, I don't have a realtor, and now you don't have the ability, if that is the neighborhood you want, to circle back.
Yeah.
Because they're going to look at us like we did some dirty.
They're going to feel like we
stole their buyer.
We stole their buyer. Actually, you came in there on your own.
Exactly. So it's about educating your buyers as well as educating yourself. And the last thing I would say is treat everybody the same.
I would say the same thing.
I've had the $1 million buyer. I've had the $100,000 buyer.
Yes.
And I learned that everybody will respect you the same if you push out the same to everybody.
And I agree with that.
That means if your business hours are from 8 to 5, that applies to the $1 million buyer as well. Because he or she has a business too, and their hours are what they are. And so they can only respect that you have hours because you have a family, you have things to do, you have a life. And I'm not going to be called at 10, 11 o'clock at night and be answering the phone for you.
It's not happening.
That's not cool. That's not okay.
In the beginning of the game,
I was all in.
We answered the phone at 10 o'clock at night. Hello, I'm up.
Are you asleep? No.
No, I'm not.
You trying to buy today?
Yeah, let's go. We remember those days, guys.
Yes. And you just realize that you'll burn out so quick and because you're running for them. And then the worst can happen is they don't even use you. Now you feel abused.
Now you not only do you feel abused, so if I had to say closing remarks, guys, I would say, if you're a realtor new to the game, just be loyal to your client, be loyal to them, work for them. And I'm talking about make sure that they know everything you know, as far as, because guys, they don't know. They're depending on us, not just to show up at closing, but to tell them the truth.
And everybody's closing is going to be different. So even if my sister Frida, her experience was not so good, it doesn't mean I'm going to have a bad experience. Nope. Maybe there was some circumstances that caused that to be a bad experience. So she's like, I'm never going to use a realtor again. That's not really fair. And you can't put your stuff on somebody else.
And this is true.
So I think, you got to leave them little street realtors alone. All them people in the background, leave them people alone and do what's right for you. And I think representation is key. So
I agree.
Yeah. This has been Randomly Rashida.
This has been fun. Desmona. Some of you will call me Mona. Some will call me Des. But guess what? It's Desmona.
We answer anything. Somebody the other day was like, I said, I'm Rashida. She goes, is that Rashita? Now, what part of you heard me say a T in my name? Okay.
Rashida.
I'm not Rashida. I'm Rashida. Oh my God. With a D and an A. Okay.
Just Des, guys. It's fine for me. Just Des.
There ain't no way to break down Rashida. I don't even know what you would do with that one, but you don't have to call me Rashida. Randomly Rashida. coming at you with a "So You Think You Want to Be a Realtor? How Do I?" episode.
Yeah.
And I hope you got something out of it, even though she's cool. She makes it so much easy and so much fun. But hear the message in the story that, you know, we just want you to be great. If you're going to do this, know what you need to know and stash the money. Now, here's one thing. Do you think you would have done it if you weren't married? Because you were married when you were doing real estate.
I was married, so I had my husband was my supporting base. I don't know if I would have did it if I wasn't married, because guys, I take my hat off to those who are single and you don't have no other support coming in. I commend you, because people remember, they don't, when I say they, realtors don't get paid until we go to closing. Not because you said, I want to see a house.
Right.
Go to closing, sign off, the agents now get paid. So please be sensitive to that.
Right. Don't spend a whole year looking for a house. Come on now.
Please, guys.
Let's be real.
Seriously.
This is funny, but it's true. I used to have a thing where I drove a Mercedes at the time.
Yeah, I remember the gray one.
And I was like, okay, now this one wanted to just do a whole little tour of Atlanta. Let me help this one out. I turned the air conditioner off. I did. And the chick was like, that's where you work?
Did she do that?
In this car work? I was like, oh no, we owe natural until you make a decision.
That's my friend.
I was like, you know, it don't take all year. There's new houses that come and go every day.
I know.
We could do this for the next 5 years, and it's just too much.
I know.
So I had this thing where I'm not going to spend 5 years with you. We're going to do at least at the most 5 times I'm going out with you.
That's it.
That is it. And you better make a decision or you get no air. And I'm going to burn you up until you make a decision.
Guys, you better make a decision dealing with this one.
I'm like, gas is too expensive. And you just run around here just like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. No, boo-boo. Here's what we had. Do you like this one? Eliminate it. Do you like eliminate? This is what we left with. Sign online, sunshine.
I agree. Listen, guys, I agree. And not to mention, let's go ahead and talk about, since we're at it, the COVID-19. Guys, realtors got to be just as safe as you guys are. So we are protecting our buyers and our sellers. Yep. And we got to make sure that when you're ready, and we can take you out that one good time.
Right. So do your research online. Yep. Even if you find the house, that doesn't mean I don't need you because I found it. That's neither here nor there.
No.
When the rubber meets the road and all that legalese go down, you will be thankful that you had someone like me or Mona.
That's right.
Just saying.
Hey, you want to drink to that?
Clink, 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 clink.
Look, guys, look at my glass and look at hers. Who's been drinking?
Someone's been sipping a little bit more than the other.
Hey, guys, it's been a good day. Listen, I wouldn't trade nothing for the relationship, even if I never saw real estate again. Just the mere fact that I made the relationship with Rashida during this time.
You know, that candy eating in class was killing me. Yeah. This thing steak. What were you eating? Like
Laffy Taffy candy.
And she was all worked up and built up. Girl, bye.
But this was pretty and chocolate. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah. Bye, girl.
Bye.